Hi guys, it's Jess from Honest Fiction, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my most recent book haul. Alright guys, so I've been pretty good with my impulse buying. I have not purchased a ton of books. However, I am still part of a decent amount of subscription services, so I've still acquired a decent amount of books over the last few weeks. I've also received some from publishers, friends, and I might have purchased one or two. So there's a decent amount of books to get through, and now there is a mix of romantasy, YA fantasy, dark romance, and contemporary romance. And I will give you a very brief plot synopsis of every book, and if I've read the book, I will tell you my overall thoughts. Now, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram, Goodreads, and Patreon, all linked down below. With all that out of the way, let's talk about these books. And starting off with special editions, first up we have the Starlight Heir. Now this is an adult romantasy following Soraya, who is a bleedsmith, and when she is invited to the royal court, she jumps at the opportunity, hoping to learn more about her mother who has recently been deceased. Now what she does not realize is the royal court hasn't invited her there just to get to know her. They are actually searching for the Star Keeper, a girl that possesses some sort of celestial magic. Now, while she is at the court, it is attacked by rebels, and she ends up fleeing with the illegitimate son of the prince. And I believe it's going to be a romance between them. I think the prince is also harboring some sort of secrets, and it sounds really good. I've been seeing this book all over Bookstagram. This is the Fairy Loot romantasy pick for either January or February. I'm honestly not sure which, but oh my gosh, this book is absolutely stunning. And I will also show you the naked hardback, because honestly, I think that is where this book shines. Look how pretty that is. Absolutely gorgeous. So this will be a book that I definitely pick up in March. And next up we have Immortal, which I believe is a young adult fantasy romance. In this story, we are following Princess Liane, and she has known her entire life that one day she would ascend the throne in order to serve the immortal gods. Now, something ends up happening and Liane is poisoned, and in her grandfather's desperate attempt to save Liane's life, he ends up angering the gods, who end up, I believe, sending the god of war to, rain wrath down upon them. And Princess Liane needs to save her people. And I'm sure there's a lot more than that, but I've heard very good things about this young adult fantasy romance. I believe this was on my most anticipated releases of 2024 list, so another book that I will hopefully be getting to soon. And next up is Cruel is the Light. This is another young adult fantasy romance, and I believe this was Fairy Loot's February pick. Now, in this story, we are set in a world where the Vatican has been waging a war against demons, and we are following a demon hunter and a foot soldier who end up having to have a fake engagement and pretend to be dating in order to enter the Vatican and try to take down some of these demons. And honestly, I have not heard of this book before, but I am very interested. I will say, I just looked up what the original cover looks like, and I think I prefer the original cover to this one. I actually don't think I looked on the inside dust jacket yet to see if it's a reverse dust jacket, and it is. So I take back what I said. Fairy Loot, really, they never miss. So this is what the hardback looks like. These are the end pages. And then it does have a reverse dust jacket, so I probably will be turning it around. But overall, another book that I am very excited to get to. And the next two special editions are both from Mystic Box, so they are dark romance. So first up, we have King by S.J. Tilley and NERO by S.J. Tilley. The first book is actually NERO. They're a set of interconnected standalones. I'm not sure how many books are in the entire series, but they are all mafia romances. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I did try to cancel this box, but I was too late. I ended up DNFing this first book. However, I have since had a lot of people tell me that I DNF'd too soon. This really is an absolutely amazing read, so I haven't gone in to look exactly what the plot synopsis is about. I ended up picking this up on a whim. I think I got the audiobook on sale, and I didn't make it very far in at all before I gave up. So I'm going to give this another try, and I think this first one is Stalker, and the second one might be cheating, but I'm not positive. And last up for special editions, we have Where We Started. Now this is from Hello Lovely, and Hello Lovely recently switched to hardbacks, which I absolutely love. Although I do kind of miss the special edition paperbacks because I feel like not a lot of people do those. But either way, this is an MC romance, which is one of my absolute favorites. My top MC romance series is The Fallen Men by Gianna Darling. If you have not read that series yet, oh my gosh, it has absolutely everything you could possibly imagine. It is just so addictive and amazing. So I am very excited to try this out. All I know about this is we are following a girl whose father owned a motorcycle club, and when he passed away, she inherits it. However, the president of the motorcycle club, who she has a history with, is trying to take it over and like run her out. And I think in the process of doing that, they start to kind of rekindle their romance. So it sounds really good, and the next time I am in the mood for a contemporary, I will definitely be picking this up. And moving into fantasy romance and romantasy, first up, we have 2 copies of Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. So I have this first edition that I ordered from Amazon all the way back in March. So this ended up arriving. It was in perfect condition. I am very excited. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Fourth Wing series, it starts off with Fourth Wing, and we are following Violet Sorrengail, who grows up believing she's going to become a scribe, and instead when she comes of age, her dragon rider mother tells her that no daughter of hers is going to be a scribe. Instead, she is going to have to compete at Dragon Rider University, hopefully survive long enough to, one, just make it into the doors, but also survive long enough to find a dragon, learn how to ride said dragon, gain magical abilities, and then defend her people from this great danger that is approaching. So I absolutely love the Fourth Wing series. Now, this book, I will say, is probably my least favorite in the series, but still very, very happy I was able to get my hands on this edition. I was also able to get my hands on the Target exclusive edition. If you would like the whole story of me literally just busting my butt trying to get this book, I will leave my January wrap-up where I tell it in the cards and in the description. Let's just say it was very eventful waking up to try to get this, but I did manage it, and I am very happy to own both copies. And next up, we have Never Keep, and this is by Carolyn Peckman and Susan Valenti, the same authors that wrote the Zodiac Academy. So this is actually set in the same world as Solaria. So in this story, there are different elemental kind of like factions, air, water, fire, etc. And when you come of age, you are given a test, and if you are chosen, you then get to enter the Never Keep. And I will say, I did start this book. I also did DNF this book, and I am so sorry if this is one of your favorites. I will give this another try. However, I got to chapter 24, I believe, and I was very confused. I will say this book starts out with a very chaotic battle with different POVs, and I was just lost. It did get a little bit better once they enter the school, but still, I was just not really attached to the characters. I feel like the audiobook also had a lot to do with that. So unfortunately, I did DNF this, but I am willing to give it another shot later this year. And next up, we have Amid Clouds and Bones by Ella Fields. This is a dark adult fantasy romance standalone. And in the story, we are following the half-fae, half-human daughter of a mortal king. And when the mortal king starts having meetings with the prince of the Seelie Court, he decides to form an alliance in order to go up against the Unseelie Court. And the way he gets that alliance is offering up the prince of the Seelie Court his daughter. Now, apparently, this prince has a notoriety for playing these very savage games, so our main character does not want to marry this guy, and it's their romance. I absolutely love Ella Field. Every single book I've read by her, I have given 4.5 or 5 stars. So I know this is going to be amazing. This is also my Patreon book club pick for February, so I am about to start this, and I cannot wait. And this is the 5th video I filmed today, and I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to try to go kind of quickly. Next up, we have Visions of Darkness by A.L. Jackson. Now, I had this on multiple TBRs. I still haven't gotten to it yet, but I believe this is following a girl that at night when she dreams, she fights these monsters, and her soulmate is also in this dream world, like together. I think they team up to fight them, but these monsters are slowly starting to encroach on the real world, and then her soulmate, who shouldn't be able to go into like the actual world, is somehow able to, and I think they team up to fight these monsters. It sounds really, really good. I have seen that it's getting kind of mixed reviews, but still a book that I want to pick up soon. So if you've read this, let me know, what did you think? And next up we have To Bleed a Kingdom. Now this is an adult fantasy romance. The tagline for this is a bastard prince and a fiery beauty. Apparently involves star-crossed lovers. But from what I've gathered in the synopsis, we're following the general who's in charge of like protecting this city. And then a group of foreigners show up, and one of them, or the leader, is this gorgeous redhead who's able to control fire, I'm assuming, and they have some sort of romance. I'm guessing they're star-crossed lovers. Either way, I have a feeling once I actually start this book, I will absolutely love it. I just need the motivation to start another really long fantasy. But this is another book. If you've read it, what do you think? Because the reviews are pretty good. I just don't know any of my friends who have picked this up yet. And next up, we have Lakesedge. Now, I believe this is a gothic fantasy romance or dark fantasy romance. And in this story, we are following this girl whose brother is cursed, and he has shadows essentially pouring out of his body. And in order to save him, she agrees to reside at Lakesedge. And I believe the owner of Lakesedge believes he's able to save her brother, and there's a romance between them. But I actually received this book quite a while ago. It was right before or right after I filmed my last book haul. So I received this from Amanda, from Amanda's Booktopia. I always say her name wrong. I am so sorry. Amanda's Booktopia. And thank you so much, Amanda. You are so sweet. Please, everyone, check out her channel. She is one of the nicest people. And her and Clint from Reads Readers actually have a book club where they discuss books at the end of every month. So check them out. But either way, this is a book I cannot wait to get to. And these next two books are pretty much as dark as you can get for dark romance. So we have God of Malice, which is the first book in the Legacy of God series. This was a 5-star. I'm obsessed with this series, despite the fact I've only read the first book. But this first one is following Killian, and he is a psychopath that becomes absolutely obsessed with this girl. I always mess up her name. It starts with a G. But she ends up starting at a new university, and after a very traumatic event where he ends up meeting her, he becomes obsessed with her, and it's their romance. So good. Please check the trigger warnings because this will definitely not be for everyone. And it starts off, like the first few scenes are very intense. So just know that going in, but I love this. And I plan on picking up God of Pain as soon as I finish my current read. Now, I believe this is BDSM and also Grumpy Sunshine, and I cannot wait to get to this. I know a few people have said this is their least favorite in the series, but still, I just know I'm going to love all of these books. I just need the time to be able to read all of them. And last up is a contemporary romance. We have Burnout by Rebecca Jenshack. So this is a new-to-me author. I've never read any books by her before, but I've heard very good things about this one. All I know about this is he's in motocross and she's a dancer, and I think it's opposites attract. But either way, I am very excited to get to this one. And this is also a book I've had for a while because it came in right after I filmed my last book haul. But this is from Christy Reads a Lot. Please check out her channel. She reads so many books, all different genres of romance. So dark, contemporary, fantasy, just everything. So highly recommend checking her channel out. I will have it linked down in the description below. Alright guys, that is it for my most recent book haul. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have read any of the books I mentioned, please let me know down in the comments below. And I'd like to say a special thank you to my Paladin protectors, Amanda, Kat, Kylie, Leslie, Lotta, and Jess. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. And I said this already, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye!